Patricia, I'm not getting no hours. How do I get more hours? Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Patricia, and in today's video, we are going to be covering how to gain more hours. Now, a lot of you have been attacking me with the question, Patricia, how can I get more hours? Patricia, they're not giving me no hours. Patricia, what should I do? I gotcha. Didn't I already say we're a family here? And I'm gonna come and address any questions sent my way. And here I am today addressing that question. So if you want to see this video, go ahead and keep on watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. And guess what? If you have a question, send it my way, whether it be in the YouTube comment section down below or my social media, which is also linked down below. Secure the bag. Secure the bag. So let's get right into it. I am just super excited. Let's get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and start off by explaining the reason why a lot of people aren't getting hours, simply because I feel like maybe if you guys understand, then you'll be a little bit more at ease. And I'm not trying to defend them and go against you, because I'm in your same shoes. When this whole pandemic started, actually, my hours went to the floor. I was getting 35, 38 hours a week, and I'm not a full-time employee. So from that to 10 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, it was never like a stable, consistent schedule. It was always shifting. My anxiety was all over the place because I was like, oh my gosh, I have no hours and I needed these hours. So I went ahead and, I handled my situation the way I needed to handle it. And now I'm here to, give you guys the same advice that I gave myself, and to probably give you guys better advice, because I didn't really know what I was doing. And I was just like, I need hours. Due to the whole pandemic that's going on, a lot of people's hours have been cut. Why? Because guess what? When one of your associates gets the virus, okay, I'm not going to say the name of the virus for, YouTube purposes, but a lot of people, it doesn't necessarily have to be like in that one specific place that you're trying to work at. A lot of people in this world, like generally speaking, have came in contact with the virus. And just like many people in this world, obviously there's people in that specific store who have come in contact with the virus. There's a lot of people in my store who have come in contact with the virus. The company has to tell that person to stay home for at least 2 weeks, and anybody else who was around that person. So what does that mean? Yes, to you guys, you're probably like, well, it means that he stays home for 2 weeks. Yes, but what does that mean to the company? The company now has 3 associates gone for 2 weeks. And who's going to close the deli department? Who's going to close the produce? Who's going to open the doors in the morning in customer service? Big companies can't afford to not have their business running the same because somebody else got sick. These are billion-dollar companies. So what do? They replace you. All right? Now, obviously, they can't just replace you for a day or a week or 2 weeks. So what do they have to do? Hire new employees, right? You're gone for 2 weeks, and be careful, because a lot of times it's a lot more than 2 weeks. But they need to keep running their business, so they hire other associates. And now that's great for the company, because guess what? On commercials and stuff, they get to say that they're the company who have hired the most associates during this whole pandemic. Yeah, but at the cost of a lot of people's hours. I'm not complaining. I understand it. But I want you guys to understand it as well. They can't afford to not hire somebody just so that you can have your hours, because guess what? They're gonna be running their business wrongly for 2, 3, 4 weeks because you're still sick. So they hire these new associates, and now we're getting overloaded with associates, meaning that everyone's hours need to get cut, because guess what? Your 10 hours became 5 hours because the new girl Sarah or the new boy Tom or Jimmy have to get 5 hours as well. So everybody is on the same boat here. We're all on the same page. You might be used to getting 10 hours and now you're getting 5. Because guess what? Somebody new joined the company and they need to get 5 hours too. So it's not like they're getting 10 and you're getting 5. You don't necessarily need to have done something wrong to get your hours cut. But simply because we are overloaded with associates, everyone's hours are getting cut to ensure that everyone is getting at least some type of hours. Okay? Because obviously if you don't get hours, you can't stay in the company. So you need at least a few little hours to work. So that is why a lot of times you're missing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in your normal schedule because those hours were given to somebody else who's probably like new in the company. That's why a lot of people's schedules are fluctuating, because guess what? The week that Timmy got the virus, you might have 20 hours because you need to cover your 10 hours and his 10 hours. But when he gets back, you're probably only going to get 10 hours because he's back and he can help and he needs his hours too. So it fluctuates because this whole virus is causing a lot of people to have to go home for 3-4 weeks, or some people are just scared and they don't want to work for 2-3 months, which is understandable. But what is the company supposed to do? Sit around and wait for you to feel better and feel like coming to work? No, the company needs to keep going because they're big companies and you can be replaced like this. And that's the sad truth. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, because personally me, people have told me the same thing. Oh, you could be replaced like this. Okay, yes, but I don't feel as if that's just so easy, especially when you are genuinely a good worker, because you can replace me as in like a physical form. You can replace somebody to take over my shoes, but you can't replace the connections I had with these customers. You can't replace the effort and enthusiasm I had for this company. So don't always feel so bad, you know. Always keep yourself like at a higher standard, because you matter and you're important and you play an important role in this company as well. But I do want to let you guys know, like, that's how the process works. All right, so how can I get more hours? Because I still need my hours. I got you. If you still need your hours and you're upset, because there's nothing really you can do about this, all right? Your hours got cut. We're going through a global pandemic. People's hours are fluctuating. Different people are coming in contact with the virus every single day, every single minute. What can you do to get your hours though? Because you need that paycheck, all right? I got you. I'm going to start out by saying how I handled it. This isn't the way I recommend for everybody to handle it. This is simply how I handled it. And I'm going to tell you how I recommend for you to handle it so that you can get hours in your actual job. A lot of people think that if they go into the offices, and I don't want to say threaten, but essentially tell their managers, well, if you don't give me hours, I'm going to go somewhere else and get hours. They think these managers are going to be like, oh my gosh, no, you can't leave. Like I said, it's so easy to replace somebody like this. And these managers have a lot of applications. Therefore, be smart. Play it smart. Why would you leave such a big company that gives you access to stocks, benefits, workers' comp? Like, they give you a lot of stuff regardless if you're working 5 hours or 15 hours. I know you want to be at 15 hours, but if due to these circumstances that life is giving us right now, you can only work 5, why would you be willing to walk away from those 5? All right, so I'm about to put you on some serious game right now. And this is what I would tell myself, because I didn't know who else to ask or who else to take advice from. So I just, trial and error, experimented it for myself, and now I'm here to share with you guys. Take those 5 hours. Extra money. You're working at the company you want to work at, and you still have access to everything that they're giving you. All right, take that. But I understand. You need more hours. Oh! You need more hours. You need to pay those bills. You have 2 kids at home, and they're crying because they need their milk. You're tight on money. You're a single mom, single dad, whatever it may be. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go look around for different jobs. All right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a grocery store. It doesn't necessarily have to be another Publix. It could be any job. I found myself a job at a whole different criteria, a whole different topic. It has nothing to do with groceries. Okay, I found me a second job. And if you really need the money that bad, don't leave your first job. Think about it. If you are thinking of leaving, think about the decisions you're about to make before you make them. I wouldn't suggest you leave Publix if you work at Publix. Publix is an amazing company. So many benefits, so many access to things that other companies don't give you. The employees a lot of times are great, and I've had my fair share with disagreements with managers, and I still can't vouch that it's a bad company. I think this place is great. And that's not me just trying to tell you guys to make my video sound more credible. That's not me trying to, no, I give you guys my raw and honest opinion as it is, as it was, as it always will be. And I think the company is great. But I also understand the struggle out in the street when you got to feed somebody or take care of somebody and you don't have the hours or the money to do so. So what you're going to do is take what the company is giving you And on the side, you're going to start applying and get yourself a second job. And essentially that will probably be your primary job, because if you're not getting any hours at your big company and you're getting a lot more hours somewhere else, all right. But you still being in this company will still give you access to a lot of other things that you don't want to lose. That's why you don't want to quit the company, because you don't want to lose those things. Once you're in the company, it's such a ball game. Like, once you're in the company, it's just a great thing, okay? So don't leave. Like, you know, if you want to leave, I mean, leave. I'm not going to tell you guys, oh my gosh, stay. But I would recommend that you stay. I think it's a great place. But if you need the money, go start applying in different locations, you know, different stores, and see what else is out there. And you could be technically working both jobs. Working 2 jobs does not mean you're working full-time in both jobs. Working 2 jobs can be you working 20 hours at Target or at Cracker Barrel and working 5 hours at Publix, but you still have access to Publix stocks and you still have access to Publix benefits, and all you're doing is working 5 hours. So that's what I ended up doing. I actually found a second and a third job. And then, you know, once the whole like virus thing started slowing down, I started kind of getting a little bit more hours. And sometimes it does get overwhelming because I don't want to tell them no. And I'm in school and everything. But I'm just appreciative for what I have. And for the most part, they don't give me like a ridiculous amount of hours like they used to, simply because obviously we're still in this pandemic and they have to even out the hours for everybody. But I have me a second job with second income. So I'm okay. I can pay what I need to pay on time, because I wasn't going to be able to do that if I was only counting on the hours that my company was giving me. I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I found me a second job, but at the same time, I still stayed at my company job, and now I'm getting more hours there and I'm fine. So that's personally what I did. If you want to do something like that, I don't see anything wrong in doing that. If you are obviously looking into working at a competitor store to the company you're at, you would have to take that up with your management to make sure it's okay. But if you're working like at something that's completely different than what you work at, you know, like an IHOP, if you work at a grocery store, if you're looking to work at a clothing store because you work with food, I don't see nothing wrong with that as long as you're doing like different things. There's some people who don't want to do that. They don't want to get a second job, or they don't find people who are hiring in other jobs. And they're like, we need more hours in this company in specific. All right, I got you. What you're gonna do is go personally. Okay, my thing, like, so many people are like, can I just call? Yes, you could just call. But is it my recommendation? No. I'm a very persistent person, and when I want something, I'm gonna go after it at all costs. At all costs. That can be good at times, and it can also be bad. All right? It's the way I am. I try to catch myself when I slip up. I recommend that you go personally to the Publixes around you and speak to the store manager, not the hiring manager. You're already in the company. You're already hired, okay? Now, you can still speak to the hiring manager because essentially he's the customer service manager, so you can still speak to him. But if you can speak to the store manager, that's even better. And what you're going to do is when you speak to that store manager, you're going to let him know your situation. Look, I understand that for X, Y, and Z reasons, I'm not getting hours. But I have 2 kids to feed at home, and I'm barely making it with the 10 hours they're giving me. Do you need any help in this store? Be prepared for managers to tell you, I'm overloaded with hours. I wish I could help you, kid, but I can't. Be ready. But a lot of times, there's that one manager who could be overloaded with hours, and he'll be like, I have space for you. Come in next Thursday and work an extra 8 hours here. That should help. All right? There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, okay? There's going to be somebody who offers a lending hand. Trust me. So be prepared for the worst, but have that hope inside of you that somebody, because somebody will, that somebody will come through. And don't give up. And keep going to different Publixes around you and trying and seeing if somebody can give you hours. Obviously, before you do that, you're supposed to have already voiced this concern to your manager, obviously. You're supposed to let them know, hey, you know, I need more hours, I need this. They know. They know. Managers know that you were getting 30-something hours before and they cut your hours to 10 hours. They know. And I've seen it right in front of me. A lady struggling to maintain her kids. And she's like, hey, I really need more hours. And the manager's just kind of like, I don't know. So guess what? You need to do for you because nobody else is going to do for you. So at that point, you need to take matters into your own hands and go to different Publixes or different Targets or different wherever it is that you work at and be like, I need hours. Could you help me? I'm willing to work any department. Okay, so now since you're kind of like asking for hours and asking them for help, they might tell you, all right, I'm willing to help you, but I need you to help me in a different department than what you work at. Now, that might mean you cutting meat, you making fruit bowls, you working in the bakery. You have to see what these men, now, obviously it's not all the time. Sometimes they're going to be like, yeah, we could use the help here as a cashier. Go ahead and that's it. But sometimes they might tell you, all right, but we need help in a different department. Could you help us in a different department? At that point, I suggest you say yes and work in that different department just so that you can start getting familiar at that store. And if it doesn't work out, you can let somebody know, hey, like, I just don't know what I'm doing, stuff like that. But obviously, these managers are going to teach you. And it's always good to know how to do multiple stuff around the store. I mean, these are the times where people learn the most, which makes you more of an asset in the company. And at the end of the day, you're getting your hours. You can't be picky when you're basically begging for your hours. You can't. If they tell you they need you in the deli, that's where you got to go. But they won't always tell you that. A lot of times, like, if somebody is willing to help you, they'll just let you keep that same position that you were doing before at their store, you know? I don't want to stress you guys out too much with that. Another thing that you want to do is tell your manager at your specific store to register you as a borrow for any store. Because sometimes it does happen where other stores need a borrow and they look at this list, and if your name is on the list, they'll call you. So you don't technically need to go to every single store around you. That's only if you like desperately need the hours. If you don't desperately need the hours, then just let them list you as a borrow, and if somebody does need you, they'll call you. I don't think that method works super effectively unless they really need somebody, because there's always people who are like, hey, like, please, if you need more help, I can come help you. You know, there's always people really trying, and those are most likely the people who the managers end up calling. But it's never bad to be on the list of borrowers. Like, they do get called as well, so you want to make sure you do that too. And with that being said, I'm gonna just go ahead and conclude the video, because those are just like the 3 main ways to really get your hours: is to get registered as a borrower, go to different stores around you and tell them that you're willing to, you know, work whatever position in order to get your hours up, or simply to get a second job but still stay in the same company. So those are just like the 3 top ways. If you guys want to see more ways, go ahead and comment down below, because I would love to do a part 2 to this video, or maybe like a minor edition. Even though these tips do work for minors, I could go ahead and do a minor edition one to emphasize what minors really should say. But like I said, just make sure, you know, you just let me know, because I want to make sure I'm providing the content that you guys want to see. Go ahead and message me if you guys have any questions. And I'm about to go to sleep because it's about to be like 12 at night and I gotta wake up tomorrow to go work at my second job. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for supporting and showing me love. I love you guys and hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, wonderful week. I don't know what day I'm gonna post this, but I hope you're just having a wonderful month overall. And I'll see you guys in my next video. If you have any questions, send them my way, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.